They turned it up a little higher. Everybody seems to be moving around. Good morning. Went to sleep at about 6. Got woke up at about 10. So good. Is it morning, guys? Hello. Oh, life is so fascinating. Life is good. I like to give honor to God, to His Son Jesus. Pastors, elders, ministers, mothers, missionaries. Those are real titles. Missionaries. Those that go out into the highways and byways and take missions, trips. You know, the ones that people complain, what you need a plane for? You ain't nothing but a pastor, preacher. You don't need a plane. You don't need the congregation to ask you for money or give you money for a plane. See, look, here come the sermon with them slippers. I hear that ding. Daily Divine Guidance is live. Here they come. Anyway, yeah. Here we go. Look. It's been super quiet all of a sudden. Well, everybody sleep. Listen. Wide awake. So, now missionaries, they take trips to different parts of the world as instructed or as they feel necessary. Africa, Panama, wherever they can teach and preach or have appointments where people say, we want to hear you preach about God. So they buy planes. And the thing is, it is not necessarily the pastor's job to finance things for missions. I do believe, such as myself, wanting to build housing around the world with a global presence, that I would need a plane. Now, why would I think I need to come out of my pocket for a conglomerate group of people that share the same vision? Should we not work together? And I bet you he the only one to get on that plane. Well, do we need the whole crew to go on a plane? Ain't that hazardous? For the whole church to get on one plane? It's not like a commercial plane with however many seats. Most times a private jet, they only hold so many seats. And a lot of these pastors do take their own group, posse, whatever you want to call it. And they mind God's business. But again, why would a pastor go into his own pockets to pay for a mission from God when there's a conglomerate group of believers that says, well, we get it here at home, and we absolutely think the world should hear this message. So yes, let's support God's mission. But you get people all in the church. Well, how come pastor got a nice car when the rest of us are struggling? How come the pastor got a jet and we don't seem to have anything? That's the strange part about faith. It's according to your faith. The pastor can preach and teach all day what he's doing. And because people have a certain mindset, they really feel like it's the pastor's responsibility to live on their faith. The individual people that are not necessarily listening but participating. They're not actively listening. They're not actively living. No one can stop you from growing your personal wealth, your personal life, the cars that you drive. The money that you give is not the issue. It's more or less you believing that outside of what the pastor's doing at church and the money that you give are, in a sense, really, if you're paying attention, those are your deposits into your own currency of faith. Let's see. So, the way I worked it when I was younger and people were not stealing, obviously, from me, I was able to give money to the church. I did pretty good. This is when my children were either not born yet or I was very young, just starting out. I had money. Just from my jobs, full time, even part time, I was able to give at least 10% or more. Hi. And so, um, Grandma, make me some food. Yeah.
I'm just moving.
Mm-hmm. So, good morning, one person. Welcome to the live. So many people find themselves uh, more or less being actively involved, but not really participating. Giving money to church is a necessity, and yes, there are people. So a lot, a lot of times, people. Again, when I was actively in church, I noticed that um, again, I could give and have money left over and do whatever I needed to and enjoyed it. I even started a small little store at the church where I would sell various things, not just to people in the service, but also people outside. T-shirts, sliders. What I noticed, well, yeah, the kids would come a lot. I had penny candy. I told them about fruits and vegetables, brushing their teeth, drinking a lot of water, eating fruit. Don't rely on candy alone. Just that's a snack. But I had penny candy, so they would find, Mommy, I need 5 pennies. Mommy, give me pennies, penny. And people give kids pennies. And I would take them and either give it to the church. I would travel, use it as gas money. So giving to church is it should be coupled with, when I give this money, I'm not necessarily looking for it back in the form that I gave it when I'm working my faith. So if I gave $80, I wasn't looking for it back from the pastor if I got in trouble or if there was a funeral. Oh, well, I get $80, so you should give that back, sir, ma'am. No. We mentioned that to the people that reside in this unit about the chirping. And I don't know if they have bad understanding or did they tell the maintenance guys. I think we have a ladder. I did mention it was something with the batteries, but while temporarily staying with people, all you can do is mentioning things like you're telling me. I can get on the ladder and change it, but I haven't seen the ladder. It may be in the basement, and they don't give me access to the basement because there's some shenanigans going on here. I respect that. So if you hear chirping, I did mention that maintenance needs to come and look at that. It did just start maybe a month ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks. I don't know. I have mentioned it. It doesn't necessarily bother me, but yes, it is hazardous. Thank you guys for picking up on that. I don't know if they're using cheap batteries. I don't hear it until I get on here. I really don't. I don't pay it any attention, but it's not me. And thank you guys for paying attention. Again, that could be a hazard, especially this time of year with fires. It's cold outside, and at least we know it's working. Again, I hadn't heard that until, about a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. You'll hear it in the background. But if it was before then, I didn't know. And again, I didn't hear it until I got on. I'm so serious. I've mentioned it several times. Again, there's a bit of resistance. I did mention it needs to be, the maintenance people are here. They come. I don't know. Most recently, I haven't heard from them about them, but there's people that do the snow and the salt, the leaves, whatever, maintenance around the building. So I don't know if they're the same people that do the inside maintenance, but I mentioned it. That's all I can do. Hello, Iman. Iman, is it? How are you? I wish you well. So, being an active listener and participant in the church, again, I hear a lot of people. I think this is how this needs to go, and I'm not sure why people don't do that. Okay. All right. So, one of my issues is with retail. When I worked in the 90s, we had and learned world-class customer service. And I'd like to welcome you guys to this live. I really appreciate your presence. You are welcome anytime. I know that's why I put Vera's Rogue report. I know that what I talk about is not necessarily favorable. I know people don't want to hear it from me, and I couldn't care less, because if you put yourself in my shoes, you'll probably do the same thing. And that's the strange part. Why is it strange for me to do what you would have done? As a consumer, a customer, and as a business owner, whether present, future, past times, I've learned that there's world-class customer service. World-class service. That means no matter who visits that business, they have first-class treatment, period. They're greeted at the door. They're told if they need any assistance. Let you know. A lot of these companies, everybody's walking around like a customer or a spy. They're nasty. They wish you didn't come. And they have the nastiest people working at the registers, the front door, all over, everywhere. Everybody's an FBI agent just investigating everybody. I don't. That's just weird. Nobody's nice. Everybody has an agenda of, I just think you're gonna steal something, so I'm just gonna not be nice. You're a suspect. What do you want? Everybody's on break. Everybody has an attitude. Everybody's a target. It's crazy. So you don't feel welcomed. You feel like everybody's spying. No one's really greeting you nicely, like they really care. Like when they see you coming, they don't even speak. But then right before you and after you, hey, welcome. How are you? Hey, girl. Hey, family. But when you come through, hey, welcome. Like you're not familiar. Like you don't belong. You're not family. We're just greeting you because that's the job. Oh, they're so welcoming. And then sometimes it goes into a whole real life stalking, reporting, bounty hunt kind of effect, where people literally are told on the clock, here's some money. If you see this person, call us. Hold them until we get here. All this stuff. And these people participate like clowns, like they're not at work. They're literally taking bribes and being a part of a crime because they're not paying attention. Now, as a business owner, these people's jobs are simply to get the money here. That's it. Be nice. Be helpful. Be cordial. Be vigilant. But get the money. That's what customer service is. When you have a product, you want people to promote it. You want people to help people find it. You don't need people watching people like a hawk, like, yeah, I know you're a thief. Everybody's suspect. I'm just here to man the floor. Oh no, I'm on break, but I see you. So don't try to steal anything. That's how you feel. And then you have people, once again, that play these games on the clock because they hang out outside of work with all the people. And so they've conglomerately started a rumor at the club or in somebody's phone, text messaging, sending out pictures. Hey, if y'all see this person come in the store, because I'm stalking. And I realized this is their favorite store. Yeah, I was told that since I was stalking and being nosy. They come here a lot. I want you guys to make them feel uncomfortable. And if you see them, let me know so I can show up. So we can commit a crime, right? They don't even know it because they're so caught up. So they get to work outside their baby mama's sister's cousin's nephew, who's the friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And they're all working where? At the local grocery store. And they're all vigilant, looking for you to walk in so they can call their friend. Because their friend said, if you do, my cop cousin, they have this bounty out and they'll pay you $1,000 if you guys capture this person and hold them so that by the time we get there, we can get them. So what's the problem? Oh yeah, they're under investigation for such and such and they're just trying all this. Now these people are on the clock and they got caught up because they're silly. Oh yeah, so she was dating such and such and they was hanging out and he was calling her and all that and girl and blah blah blah, and so yeah, couldn't find out she was stealing and blah blah blah. So when she comes in, well, and these people actually got caught up and had an attitude because they were mentioning some of the friends of a friend of a friend's friends business. That was a lie. And so now every time you walk in, they have security looking. They have people following you around to make sure you're not quote unquote stealing. And you've done nothing. And you don't even know these people are doing this except they're so nasty every time you walk in. So now you're saying, say you're working with their delivery company, which has nothing to do with the people on the inside. But because they got this little campaign going, they're literally telling people, don't even give you any orders. They've paid these people. Don't give this person anything to do with this store. Now, they have nothing to do with this side over here at all. And you've done nothing wrong. You don't steal, you don't lie, you don't cheat. You have nothing to do with this foolishness. You're just a single mother that's trying to stay out of the sex traffickers' hands. And these people are ushering you into it. Because if you can't make money, you're pretty much vulnerable to a lot of things. Now, I haven't seen my daughters because of these people. I'm assuming. They kind of maybe infiltrated my daughters' lives like they tried to do mine. Thanks to these people blocking me, I couldn't make money to put my daughters into a better situation. And it wasn't just this group, this store. Every which way I went, they put a guy around me that I thought was a friend. And he was basically taking whatever I said back into a direction where people would infiltrate that. So I could not get back to my daughters. I don't care how old they are, they're yours. And if someone's trying to hurt your daughters, don't care if they're 50 and you're 100, you're going to go to the max as if you can to protect them. Age is not I don't know what cycle, or age doesn't matter. These are your daughters. These are your children, the ones God gave you. That if anything happens to them, the people responsible, God is going to clearly put them on the news, and I promise that there will be an uproar for the people that are found under investigation through forensic phone records, bugged conversations, and different situations that were found to be evidence and minding other people's business by angels. First and foremost, by God himself listening in and watching all of this activity. Those people will have a public display of people wanting to protest and whoop them. Now, I'm supposed to come and rewrite the end of this story so everybody found out that my business wasn't their business and that people were lying. And everybody sat down and found themselves and minded their business and stopped acting like toddlers gossiping aimlessly, minding other people's business based on a lie, so that 3 people could be harmed. Because the haunted stepped back and was protected. And God stepped in and showed these people that they're the ones that need protection, because what God plans or was planning to unleash would have erased that entire group, period. Everybody involved, from top to bottom. People at the top playing games because they had money, and the fools that took it to play the game. They will be deleted from the earth per the universe. So hopefully people found their identity. They're not holding people captive. They're not talking about ransoms, because the only result would be that they'll be on the news around the world, breaking news. People will cause an outbreak for injustices that they will clearly see have happened before, because they will see the people that actually was responsible for these crimes. And then they'll flash back to what happened to them or someone that they knew. And they will demand, almost physically, go and remove these people and do whatever they want, just because of the heinous activities that they were hiring all these dunce hat folks on the ground that didn't have enough money to survive, took a bribe to bring injustices to you and yours. And all those people will step back and be like, this is what you do? This is what you do. And I promise you, with the entire force of the universe, over 8 billion people that are able-bodied and eligible, will start a worldwide manhunt to literally remove these people from the universe. Now, I'm supposed to rewrite this, but people have to listen. If you are holding people against their will simply because you felt like you could, or someone threatened you, you need to threaten them back and tell them that you rather wrestle with them than with God. Because I promise you, God is getting people's minds geared up to have a war for me and mine and others that have been put into captivity unfairly. The people that you thought were your friends are going to realize they're victims too. This will be global. The people will have almost an Armageddon awakening, where their minds will switch over to, we must eliminate. That's what you wanted, right? People's minds to be in the mindset of eliminating certain people and things and places. And God says, your turn. But I'm supposed to rewrite this. I'm supposed to redirect the energy to something positive. But again, just like at church, it's a willing participation. You can't just give. And then when the pastor's blessed, you're mad. But all you had to do was work your faith while you were giving. So in other words, if you are one that just takes, like a leader, and yes, people give, make sure that they understand that there is a season where they should reap. There should be expectations, but they should not be staring at you. They should not be under your thumb and your guise of whenever you start to do whatever you're doing, everybody must bow. Even the head should be a servant. Even he should be humble enough to wash the followers' feet. So in other words, when I walk into Walmart, the little peasants should not be walking around talking about they're going to kill somebody or gossiping and blocking them from escaping the plantation. Okay, why? Because the leaders should be present and saying, while you're working for me, while you're helping the mission, we want you to be nice and cordial. We want you to welcome people. Yes, be vigilant of outside intruders that want to come and play the role of monster, but don't just accuse people based on a little gossip around the camp or something that happened outside of the camp. When you come in here, you're forgetting about yourself, you're worshiping, you're focusing on God, and you're worshiping Him, right? You're forgetting about yourself. You're here to get the money. Not that that's what happens at church. But what I'm saying is, your mission here at work is to do your job and get the money. It is not to be gossiping, blocking people from doing business. So if you have a delivery service as a business owner, say I'm the business owner, and I have all these people working in my store, and all their job is to smile at the customers, help them find the products, help them get refunds if needed so they'll come back, help them feel safe and secure. No one should be going, oh, if she comes in, make sure you call me. All of that. Anyone should be able to do this. Okay? Keep it smooth and simple. Oh, if this person comes in, make sure you let me know because I want to handle them myself. The business owner is not interested in this gang stalking. You're not there for that. So me as a business owner, say you are the business owner, just think of how you put this company in place to provide and to be wealthy so that you can help the community and keep prices low and find more creative ways to support the community. That takes money. Let's use common sense. When you have a business or a church, there's lights, there's gas for the cars to get there, the cars. Okay, your members may need gas money. The members may need light money, utility money. Okay, they are a part of this group, and I hate it when people go, "Well, she ain't buying nothing. She don't contribute. She just sit here and suck up all these lights." That's so ratchet. So once again, God is the provider. He gives us power to get wealth, to keep the mission going. Period. It's not a one-man show. How does a man keep a show going, a business, a church, if the people have the mentality of, oh, well, how's he driving a nice car and we don't have one? Well, who's affecting you from getting a better car? When you're giving by faith. And you don't need people in your church that's gang stalking the offering plate, trying to see what's being given and how they need to have it instead of you, and how they're going to steal it or manipulate your members to give it to them in the bedroom so she don't have money to give in service, or the husband, the nephew, the male members, because they're giving it to the little fast girls that sing in the choir on Sunday. Because at church, they're all well dressed and behave, hair pretty. But outside of church, they're working all the men. That's why they can't get married. The fornicating with Jezebel. She want his money. So they can't really give at church. So now the pastor pulls up in a nice car and everybody mad. But you're giving your money to the little sluts out here. They like to slip and dip knowing you got a wife. Some of y'all giving your money to the girl that got the weed problem and the WEAVE problem. She think it's your job to get it fixed every weekend and take her out somewhere. So you can't give it to the church. So these are your little small foxes, big or small, we don't know. But you're mad at the pastor because he got a nice car, because he manages his life well. He don't have no vices, nasty women, okay? nasty men, vices, shopping, going out to the restaurant all the time. You know, bought lunch when you need a wife that cooks your lunch. That lasts longer and it's probably healthier for you. Most likely. But you're upset that the pastor got all those stabilities. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't go out and club, he's not spending his money unnecessarily, he's not mixing his personal money with the church money. So if the church needs something, he could literally go into his own account and pull it out and put it in the church if needed. But you're looking at him criticizing. So now he says, we need a plane. God gave me a vision for a plane so we can go to Puerto Rico and Africa and several other places. And there's somebody, what you need a personal plane for? He's on mission. Ain't nobody else getting on the plane. He does have a team. Well, that don't make sense that you got to get on a plane to go and spread the word into different parts of the world. What pastor needs a plane to go to Africa and tell Africa that Jesus loves them? Now remember, this is church money. Is that his personal money? So it doesn't belong to the members per se. It belongs to the church once you give it, I'm assuming. So by faith and what you've purposed in your heart, that is what you give. So if the church is a conglomerate group agrees once again that they feel the mission that the pastor has, the vision to be global and go various places, is reputable, they support it, and they like that, or they have the unction from God, they support it. So if he raises $16 million through these people, they understand that that's not necessarily any longer out of their pocket. Like the pastor owed me, I paid $50,000 in 5 years to this church. Now I'm in debt. The Bible tells you not to give of your own necessity, but in expectation that as you sow into God, God sows into you. Never give of necessity. If you don't have it, don't give it. Now, again, if you have it and you give it, and say something happens, like that girl steals $50,000 out of your bank account and it throws you behind, or you meet somebody, as soon as you start giving that money, all of a sudden you meet a new lady, and all of a sudden she got all these sad stories, and you give it to her. And then you find your account low, and you're looking at the pastor like, I gave him all that money. Now I'm going to go to church and be a Grinch because I need it back. Or I don't have it because I gave it to that girl and she stole it. So now you're mad at the pastor because you gave $500,000 and now you low. And instead of you recognizing that you gave your money to a hustler, you're not blaming the church. Oh, he don't need all that money. Oh, he up here trying to be fancy and fly. What? Is it really the pastor? Okay, so now you are in debt. And now you're going, well, I need money too. And I'm going to go to the pastor and tell him I'm on hard times and I want some of that money back. Or blah. Remember, you're working your faith. If you were a pastor and you had members that gave you $500,000, just say one person, $50,000 over the course of so many years, and you know this is towards the plane, and that is the fund, and you can't misappropriate, because people are being very, very forensic these days with how churches operate with the money. You can't commingle, okay? Personal and church funds. You can't just give it out because it's there. Oh, I'm gonna give it to my friend. Oh yeah, my member said there's a way to do everything, but legally. So now you're looking at Pastor cross-eyed because he's maybe $25,000 away from this plane in the past couple years. And you look like I need that 25,000 back. When you should be thinking, God, I thank you that I recognized that I had sinned. Gave this chick all my money. I thought I was helping the church too. And yeah, she's still around. I gave her a budget or broke her down. She can't steal or whatever, but she's still there. We plan to get married. But I'm going to trust you for what I'm needing at this present moment. Why is she so loud at 1 a.m? So we're going to trust you to bless us, to see our ways, rebuild, repent, that you may bless our garden that we're growing, that we may have a testimony of triumph, blah, 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 blah. All right, so just say he stays with this lady. He had faith. He wasn't looking at the 𝒟𝒾𝓃𝓏 for being able to buy a jet or a personal plane to go around the world. And he literally said, I gave that money in good faith. I put it in the ground. I believe I planted it in good seed, Father God. I'm going to talk to the pastor and explain the situation. And I want him to pray with me because we're coming out of this. I love this lady. She made a mistake. I do believe she's a good lady. But that's on him. Hey, that's on him. He like her. I don't know. He like her. He don't feel this will happen again. She explained her little sad story. Somebody needed the money, and we just started the joint account. And I just felt like you were so in love with me and it would be okay. And I wasn't able to reach you. And it was an emergency. And I just took it and gave it for the surgery. You ain't never seen no documents. But you took her story. So now you told the pastor. He prayed with y'all. So now you put this chick in nursing school. She left her other job that was corporate. And they was probably going to fire her anyway for the rumors of her stealing. Not just from you, but her job. So she quit before they can get her. I thought they could still press charges. Put her through school. She made it. She became a nurse or something great. So now you guys work together. You get your money back. She get a good bonus for coming and signing on to the company. She's been working very well. She's been very cordial. She's been very honest. She hasn't been iffy. She hasn't been moving crazy. She left all her best friends. That was weird. And she has found a new group within the church and a few outside of the church. Some in this job. She understands that she doesn't have to be friends with these people, but cordial. I think it's tragic that just because you go into a new place, you need to be everybody's best friend. There's no boundaries. You're telling everybody everything. They got to come to all your events. I think we need to start back to just maybe bringing pictures to work. We ain't got to invite everybody at our job. We ain't got to invite everybody in the family. We ain't got to invite everybody to church, to everything. We don't have to have people in every part of our lives. It's nice for gifts and show. But I think we cross lines when we see everybody as a family member. Everybody on the job, be at your church. And everybody at your church, be on your job. And everybody on your job, be at your personal stuff, your weddings and your kids' events. And it's too much. I think it's oversharing. Ain't everybody got to be your friend. Then you sleep with somebody's husband on the side at some point. Or somebody sleep with your husband at, oh, Jesus, on the side. See, that's too much sharing. Too many people inside of your circle. Why does these people have to know your home address? Why do they have to meet your husband? Too much oversharing. You don't know everybody's background. They don't know yours either, stealing $50,000 from your own husband. So you guys get married. You reconcile from that situation. You're now able to give more money to the church. See how God brought that out? But you want to sit there and just, me mug, Pastor got to know that he driving a nice car. You redirected your energy. So as a business owner, you're simply wanting people to get people in and out, get that money. You don't care if those people show up every day. You don't need your workers going, oh, she here every day, girl. Oh my God, she's here. That's not good business. I want them here every day. I want them to show up. I want them to enjoy their visit to my company. So you want people that welcome throughout the day, throughout their visit, your customers. your visitors, not just at the door, but even on the floor at the register. Hi, how are you? My name is Ann. Need anything? Just ask. People don't like that. They don't want to be that involved. And they start their own little clubs and cliques almost, their own little groups inside the company. No, we're not doing that. We're here to get the money. We're here to grow the business, not your personal following online, right? So if I'm working, just say with delivery at a company, and it's separate from the company, but you're making deliveries from the store to customers. And the workers are like, don't give her no orders. And they'll freeze everything for an hour if they have to. Everything gets backed up because they don't like you. If I were the owner, I would fire everybody. Don't mess up my money for your personal stupidity. That's my point. Now, all of these people with milk that they've shopped online, edibles, all this stuff that can perish, is all on hold because somebody has a personal vendetta on certain people that show up. They're effing up the business. Just because one person showed up at 12 p.m., they shut down the entire thing just so that one person couldn't participate. And just say there's 700 people that they do this to. How many customers are being affected? That with any company, you're going to shut down everything for one person or disturb this one person's exposure just because of somebody's vendetta. You effing up money. But mature people understand that. What's the holdup? We don't have holdups. Let's keep this moving. They literally participate. Oh, yeah, that lady's here. Let's shut this down. This is not your business to do that to. Your name is not this corporate company. Why would you do that? Just because someone set up a rumor that that person shouldn't have any orders. We don't like her. It said that she steals the orders. We don't want to get... Where is that written that that person does that? Why is everybody complying to the stupidity? And just say this is several places that everywhere this person goes, somebody has it where this person is seen as a threat or a thief or something. So all of these businesses starts to lose money, literally, just because this person shows up. So instead of them addressing the real issue, which is there's a nut job somewhere in this company, that's crazy. I don't care if it's the owner. That's crazy. No, they're going to address the one person and pretend they're the problem. They're the drama. Really? One person is changing all of these industries for negative impact. Are you serious? Oh, really? They're that powerful, huh? Really? And God says they can rewrite their story because while they're in your business, they're only ruining everywhere they go. All the companies that they do business with, where they're gossiping and telling them to do stuff, that's affecting their real business. And why they're so childish, they don't understand that. Which is why a lot of things are collapsing. People are trying to adjust their businesses according to you, one person. All of these businesses with these childish-minded people that have silly agendas that don't have anything to do with their wealth, that can very well disappear, are realigning themselves so that it inconveniences you, which really causes them to collapse. But they're so smart and mature that because their little friends have told them something, they're holding dearly to it, which is none of their business. So it's affecting them, not you, really. That's the funny part. That's the part that God is laughing at. He's basically thinking, I've granted you guys all of this wealth to provide services to the entire world. And you letting one person that a conglomerate group of knuckleheads do not like cause you ruin. And there's laughter. There really is laughter. Because them holding on to this little friendship or this little agreement or this little situation is only decaying what they were building. Because it's like what do you call it? Enigma. It's a cancer that they've created for no reason. No, there's no real reason. It's an imaginary fight where they're ruining themselves, trying to ruin you and your children. Very simply. And they're stubborn about it. Now, what they're trying to win is what? Let's look at it. What are people pursuing? Is it influence? Dominance? What are they trying to accomplish by coming against you? Oh, there's only 3 little women here. 3 little women, probably not over 5'5". Conglomerate weight of combined maybe 275. So what's the uproar? Why are people in this imaginary frenzy and pretending it's little old you? What's going through their head? Whatever's going through their head is causing a lot of collapse. And it's their doing. Their stubbornness, their cockiness, their arrogance. What are they fighting? Because it ain't you. They're fighting God. They're fighting the creator that's in them. The image that says, you may have money, but you don't measure up. She measures up more than you. You means the businesses, the ideologies that they're using. She has more insight than y'all do. And y'all trying to fight her to prove that she doesn't. And it's an imaginary battle because it's not even her fight, it's mine. And you're fighting against me, not her. These are principles that I made for all humans, all of the universe to abide by. And you guys fight them diligently, trying to put in new systems that I gave you ideas to improve the lives of people, not destroy. And she's telling you, redirecting all this energy you all are using to hurt her and others and keep them in some imaginary bondage, to redirect your energy into investing in humanity, not objects, not robots to hurt people, not to make people robots, not to be studying their brains and picking their blood and their stuff and trying to hunt people down for their yellow stuff and because you're bored. People do that right here. You know, they said they took people to the islands because they was sane enough to know it was illegal on a regular, open. And this is in Georgia, this one island. That's crazy. They got spots in the mountains that God created and sees what they're doing. God sees all of this. He sees y'all snatching women and girls and putting them in sex trafficking, stealing organs, women, men, boys, girls. They see you. God sees you, the angels, the ancestors. God sees you. It said, let us make man. There's more than just God. They see you. We see you. And we're studying saying, stay out of the wilderness. It's at your detriment that you participate. And people, I have enough money. God is like, I am the money. What are you talking about? You cannot use me to keep destroying society. You're only going to collapse yourself. How dare you tell me? They don't hear God. They hear little old me. They're not listening. They're not protesting. They're not actively listening. What I'm saying is what's written. And what's written is what sustains these people But if they're disregarding, that's the collapse. Only God can sustain greatness. He is greatness. Oh no, it's the devil. The devil ain't never proclaimed to be greatness. a provider, a giver, a savior. He's a thief. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's a destroyer. He's a trickster. And people, oh, I serve the devil. Oh, you serve destruction. I get it. You're a chaos agent. And they're mad. They're literally I'm a Satanist. You sit with the liar. And he's lying to them. And yes, I believe his lies. I believe in being a liar. Now, how's that gonna win? Well, I've won before. And where are you now? At the brinks of ruin. God sustains, the devil destroys. He's destroying you and everything you do as long as you're holding that advantage. He don't care. He wants you to destroy yourself. And people do too. And here I am going, hey, don't destroy your systems. Just redirect your energy. Bah humbug. I don't want to hear that. Let's block her. We're in control. Okay. Oh. Excuse me. Yeah. And all of this stuff is falling apart. And you mad at me? Well, let's just block her. She's trying to save us. We don't want to be saved. And there's a lady here somewhere. She don't want to be saved. She want to go down. Jezebel. I'm telling you, God sent all those prophets to save that lady and her entire family. All those prophets, she killed them all. All the mailmen. You say, I'm just a messenger. All the mailmen, just killed them all. Oh, you're delivering good news to people? You giving them the letters? I've got a message from the Lord. Hallelujah. Kill him. We don't want them to get that message. We're just going to wash that news right out of their hands. We don't want them to get that message. And if they get it, we're going to kill the messenger. We're going to kill them. Kids, aren't you a clown? Aren't you a clown? You are a clown, child. God don't like you. Just me saying that, I heard a loud bump because people are retarded. I'm trying to just like to listen to my messages and they get activated, demon possessed. Start making a lot of noise, moving around, slamming stuff. Like, how dare she? Well, hey, the devil likes to destroy. Go with that. You want to be destructive, you want to block people, get them a hard time. All these names over here. So, rewriting the story. Everybody stop focusing on one person that's trying to save the world and listen to the words that come out of God's mouth, not humans, and be blessed and get back on track and grow better and greater. But if you're using systems and things to hurt people, God does not endorse that message. Now, you can do what you want, because the most that's going to happen is people are going to find themselves in Armageddon. It's in the Bible. I don't know if that's what they call it, but the end times where everybody's fighting, literally, like on the streets, being weird. Literally. On the streets fighting. Everything's going to hashtag dead on arrival. Oh, you guys can see me a little bit. Praise the Lord. But we're going to stop it there because everybody's going to comply to the will of God, right? Everybody's going to be happy. Nobody has to get hurt. God doesn't have to whoop anybody up. And I'm going to start cooking because everybody's moving around. You guys, until next time, follow God. That is your solution. That is your way to wealth, true wealth. Okay. Follow God. He's trying to save your businesses, your families, your money, your ideas. He's trying to grow your stuff. The devil wants to destroy it. Don't let him.